Of the water that covers over 2/3 of the Earth's surface, only 3% is fresh. Remove ice from the equation, and what's left to sustain the Earth's ecosystem is less than 0.5%. Agricultural and industrial waste reduces this number even further. In the developing world, lack of clean water for drinking and sanitation leads to increased disease, and the planet is growing thirstier. If current trends continue, demand will exceed supply by 63% within a generation. And while water may be undervalued and overused now, as it becomes increasingly scarce, water is poised to become for the 21st century what oil was to the 20th. It's time to turn the tide. Time to open the floodgates on innovative ideas that can fundamentally shift how we shepherd this most vital of resources. It's time to realize that ensuring a sustainable future for life on Earth means taking care of the element where life itself began: water.
Water, the one vital ingredient that all plant life can't do without. But sometimes the very thing that gives life can also take it away. In many parts of Australia, water also brings salt. Although many plants can survive on salty water, soil cannot. Associate Professor Greg Leslie from the University of New South Wales School of Chemical Sciences and Engineering is taking the first steps to helping solve this problem.
Water is a big issue in Australia. It's probably one of the Next to the greenhouse problem, how we manage our water is really the big issue that we've got to address to support our population now and into the future.
Extracting salt from salty water and then getting the water to plants in an astoundingly efficient and simple way.
So what we're looking at here is a channel. This would be a tube that has a window in it, and the window contains a small piece of reverse osmosis membrane. The soil hasn't been watered in over 3 months. The only way the plant gets water is to suck water out of the tube across the membrane. That limits the amount of salt that goes into the soil, and the plants continue to grow.
One of the most ingenious aspects of the system is that it requires no external energy at all to run.
In drier years, farmers can use the poor quality water to continue to produce a crop with this technology. In the wetter years, when they would just use regular irrigation techniques, the material, probably made from a cellulosic base, would just break down and stay in the soil.
Water in the West is everywhere. We don't think about it. It's always here. But it's not everywhere. Water covers 75% of the Earth's surface, yet millions die each year without it. In fact, 1.1 billion people, 1/6 of the world's population, don't have access to safe drinking water. Half of the world's poor suffer from water-related diseases, while only 6 diseases cause 90% of the deaths: pneumonia, tuberculosis, diarrheal diseases, malaria, measles, and HIV/AIDS. In many developing nations, most daily water consumption takes place outside the home. Women in Africa and Asia walk an average of 6 kilometers or 3.7 miles just to collect water, while many children walk long distances to school. Safe water is hard to find. However, new inventions are reducing the chances of communicable diseases and transforming the lives of millions. One solution is LifeStraw, a personal mobile water purification tool designed to turn surface water into safe drinking water. At only $5, it provides enough water for one person for 1 year. For $25, LifeStraw Family provides enough safe drinking water for one family of 4 for 3 years. LifeStraw is an effective solution to the instant need for safe water. The UN's Millennium Development Goals seek to meet the needs of the world's poorest. Help us reach those goals by bringing safe drinking water to the world. Water is life. The need is urgent. The time is now. Respond at lifestraw.com.
So the technology that we developed here addresses one of the major problems in terms of meeting the Millennium Development Goals, in that many people in the developing world do not have access to treated water. They typically would get their water from a river system like the one here next to me. Very often the water is polluted to the extent which it results in disease. So the technology was developed in our laboratories, and it relies on the use of a water bottle that can be reused over and over. And inside the water bottle we have a filtration system. The filtration system is very much like a tea bag. The tea bag then is filled with activated carbon and also some fibers, some nanofibers in there, which assist with the filtration process, removing all harmful bacteria and other microorganisms and also killing them.
Right, this process is called electrospinning, and we use this process to produce nanofibers, and in this case antimicrobial nanofibers, which we use to coat our filters. Now these nanofibers are very important as it kills the microorganisms that are filtered out. Now it's a very simple process. It's basically you only need a needle and high voltage supply and a collector plate. And what we do is to incorporate the biocide into a polymer solution, and we insert it into a glass pipette, and high voltage is applied. Now as the voltage is applied, Taylor cones are formed at the bottom of this glass pipette. And as the voltage increases, the surface tension of the polymer solution is overcome, and the solvent is evaporated and fibers are ejected to the collector plate.
The basic idea is to have a system which we call a point of view system, which basically takes the treatment of water right down to the individual level, where people can, in a very inexpensive way, without having to buy bottled water every time that they need potable water, that they can use this water bottle over and over again, and the only thing they have to do is to replace the very inexpensive filter which fits into the cap of this bottle. Dit smaakt lekker.
We see Midomo as a way to help people carry water long distances and purify the water at the same time.
My name is Justina Mwangangi. I am a community mobilization officer. Normally used to get the water from about 5 to 10 kilometers. This is an open water source, and if a member comes and collects the water from here and maybe takes it without either boiling or using water guard, they can contract waterborne diseases.
Saa ingine unaweza kuumwa na tumbo, saa ingine mtu anaweza kushikwa na homa.
Midomo is a water transport, purification and storage device. We started about 3 years ago with a very, very simple idea, which was to harness the power of people walking along in order to purify water. We've got 2 wheels here and connected to a gear set in the middle, and that drives a pump which takes water from the top tank, which stores raw water straight from a well or a river. Takes that water, passes it through ceramic filtration and down into the bottom tank. So it's a very, very simple process.
Hiyo maji nimeona ni nzuri kwa sababu na kusukuma hii naona ni rahisi kuliko kupepa na mkongo.
Women used to carry on their backs, but pushing, it is more easier, and they do carry more water.
And 50 liters of water can be, if used for drinking only, it can be used for quite some time.
Vile ninaona ni mzuri sababu inaonekana hiyo maji ukipeleka huko nyumbani si unatumia kuni, na hiyo unaweka tu kwa hiyo mashini, alafu yenyewe unaweka kwa mashini, alafu inakuwa mzuri. Ninaona hapo kuna urahisi.
And so with this Midomo, the community can be able to filter the water and thus reduce the rates at which they can contract the diseases.
We have started from the very beginning with the idea that this should be a product that can be manufactured and assembled and repaired locally using local techniques, local skills and locally available materials. It's about providing safe water for somebody to drink. We're right at the very beginning of something very exciting.